Good evening. I'm sorry, it's the Hollywood syndrome. I hate working in the dark. Isn't that better? Obviously, the first thing that we have to talk about is gratitude and appreciation, and thanking you, each person in this room, for being here. Your presence, and you're going to see this through the evening, your presence here, just showing up, makes a huge difference in a lot of kids' lives. And it has since 1991. There are two dates that we in the foundation consider sacrosanct. The first is 1982, when a woman on her own, as a volunteer at a children's pediatric hospital in Houston, Texas, talked to a little boy late at night. If you could go any place in the world you wanted to go, his name was Sebastian and he was 6 years old, where would you go? And he said, being a kid from Houston, Texas, he said, I'd love to see the snow. Well, from that moment, that idea transformed her life. She transformed many other lives, including mine. And Sunshine Kids was born in 1982 with the specific idea of taking kids away from treatment, away from hospitals, away from clinics, and letting them have a collective experience together. Our first trip in 1983, after the foundation was born, was to Winter Park, Colorado. It then continued to Aspen. We now do 8 to 10 national events a year. We have 3 offices around the United States. We impact not 20 kids a year on ski slopes, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids in hospitals all over the United States. Now, how did that transformation happen? I mean, she was good. She was great. But she was a person alone. How did that happen? It happened because of the second most important date in our history, and that's 1991. In 1991, we were skiing on the slopes of Aspen, and lo and behold, there was a guy there vacationing with one of his broker owners. He happened to be the head of a relatively new real estate company called Prudential. And he said, who are those guys? What are they doing? Within a year, they became our national sponsor and our partner and our best friends. And you, yes, I mean, this company, this corporate company, and all of its affiliates changed this organization and how it was able to reach out to more and more and more kids around the country. We could not have done it by ourselves. It was done by you, the people in this room, and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of other Prudential-related folks in areas all over this country. And that's what made the difference. Now, you're going to see that difference tonight. Because we're extraordinarily fortunate to have 2 very, very special guests who drove down here. We were able to put them in a car with their parent and with an extraordinary woman who is a parent advocate, and bring them here from South Bend, Indiana. They drove through the traffic to get here. It took them 2-3 hours to get here just to have dinner, just to say hello. And I will tell you, because I've dealt with kids for 27 years, they'll have a good time tonight, they'll have fun, they'll have dinner, they'll speak, they'll do that, everybody will applaud, everybody will love them, I love them, all God's children love them. But none of it means anything compared to driving golf carts around the golf course. Golf carts to a teenager is like, it's unbelievable. And so they were able to drive around this afternoon a little bit and see this see this lovely, lovely, beautiful place and experience what you folks were doing. Before I introduce them, it is impossible, truly impossible, to relate to you the difference your participation has made in the lives of kids fighting cancer. They didn't ask for this. They didn't do anything to deserve it. They were just minding their own business, living their own lives, and suddenly this comes into their lives. Their childhood is gone. The childhood that their parents had so desperately wanted them to have is gone. And our job has been to give them one moment of that childhood back, just as brief, whatever it can be. And you signed on. And what a tremendous difference you have made. So thank you for that. On behalf of the Sunshine Kids Foundation Board of Directors, our staff, and of course, most importantly, our kids and their families. Now, Tip O'Neill, nothing to do with politics, the Democratic speaker so many years ago had a saying, all politics is local. Well, all fundraising is local. It just is. I mean, who wants to raise money and send it to Houston, Texas? That only impacts kids down there. I want you to be very clear about this. The money you raise impacts, number one, kids all over this country. They know no geography. They know no bounds. It affects kids everywhere. But it most assuredly and specifically affects kids in your world. Chicago Children's Hospital has been affiliated with us for 25 years. We have taken kids, I can't tell you the number of kids from that hospital. And that hospital, those are kids from all over the region, because that's the Pediatric Oncology Center. These kids are from South Bend. I mean, that's right there. That's next door. Those are your kids. Those are your neighbors. Kids from Riley in Indianapolis, from Detroit Children's in Michigan. I mean, we have been affiliated with these hospitals for years. So there are no boundaries, but I want you to be assured that the money you spend, the participation that you give, your support, very, 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 very much affects your neighborhood and your community. Now, we're very fortunate, as I said, for you to get to meet a couple of those kids from your work. I had the opportunity a couple of years ago to attend a fundraiser in South Bend, Indiana. I have to be honest with you, I have never, ever, ever in my life, and I've traveled a lot, I have never, ever been so cold ever in my life. As I thought it was cold in Chicago because we spent the night there before we went to South Bend. But then South Bend was beyond. But what a wonderful event it was. What a wonderful group of people. Prudential Company putting together this event in the middle of the winter. It was beautiful. And we are very lucky tonight to have two kids from that area and from that hospital. First, I'd like to introduce you, if she would like to speak and come up for a second. She attended, both of these beautiful young ladies attended our most recent event in New Orleans, at our New Orleans Mardi Gras event in 2012, just a few months ago. And it's amazing. They survived to tell the tale in New Orleans. So please, please welcome Sunshine Kid from the hospital in South Bend, Jamie Kirk. Miss Jamie. if I may introduce as well, this is a parent advocate who is, there's no other way to describe her except as the best friend of all the families and these kids. This is Tammy, also from South Bend. I didn't know the whole crowd was coming up. This is Miranda. Miranda was on the trip. They were on the trip together. That's fabulous.
Yes.
And most importantly, that's her mama right there. Hi, Mom. So you guys take over.
Come on, just do your thing. Just tell them about the trip. Just tell them about it. I got a question for you. What was the most fun for you? Go.
My mom told me about the trip to New Orleans and I didn't really want to go, but I'm really glad I did because I met one of my best friends there, which is her. And we got in the limo to go to the airport in Chicago, and we were already friends by the time we got there. And oh, we ate a lot. I think I'm still full. And it was really nice of the Sunshine Kids to do that for us, because it was one of the best times of my life, and it's really great that there's an organization like that for kids who don't think that, well, I don't know what to say, for kids with cancer. Good job.
Hello everyone out there. I'd like to thank all of you for being here because this really is such a big deal. You have no idea what this vacation was to us. It was not only a chance to forget about the troubles of, cancer in the past, it was to forget about the troubles in our daily lives. And the only thing we really had to worry about once we got there is, what are we going to do next to have some fun? I think the first night we tried new food. That was an experience. The second day, we took a tour through the French Quarter, had lunch at the Hard Rock, and went bowling somewhere. Oh man, the day after that, just arcade, laser tag up the wazoo. But it's not just a few children that get to go. It's a large group from everywhere all at once, and we make so many friends that you never thought you'd meet before. And that's just something you can't measure and value how great that is. So I want to thank all of you for dedicating some time to donate and just be there for the Sunshine Kids. Thank you.
I just want to thank all of you for coming. I've had the opportunity to go on 3 of these trips with the children. It's a life changer. I mean, I am the daughter of a cancer survivor myself. I went on a Washington, D.C. trip with her anonymously. Nobody knew that I was her mom in my group.
You're the mother.
What'd I say?
You gave her.
Oh, I mean, I'm the mother of cancer. It was a life changer for her. She still gets out the photo albums. She got to meet President Bush. She talked to him. I mean, he spent time with all the kids. It was fabulous. I've been to San Antonio. I did the New Orleans trip. The nurses at the hospital don't like me very much. They all want to go, but they're too busy. So I get the opportunity to go, and it's just wonderful. And it's because of all of you that these kids can do this. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sunshine Kids from South Bend, Indiana. Thank you.